Alrighty boys, welcome back to another video. Yes sir, you don't see me, but you hear me. That's right, we are already in the water, son. We are out lobstering today, and this actually was taken about a month ago, actually a few months ago now. This was back in September, so sorry to keep you boys waiting on this here video, but we had a good time when we went down there. We were down in the Florida Keys. For those of you who have been there, you probably recognize just this type of water and the landscape underwater and the way it all is very very unique to this area, and the way the lobsters are kind of just act very differently. So what you just saw right there was actually my stepdad going down, yanking one out barehanded like a grizzly bear because he's out of his freaking mind. And this here is a good example of like the ledges that lobsters like to hide up under. I'm going to try and do my best to explain what's going on with you guys, and then there will be times where I won't say a word because I want you to feel what it's like to be underwater, be a fish or a lobster or whatever. This is my cousin coming over and showing off, look at my lobster that you didn't catch. You know what I mean? So that was kind of rude of him, but it is what it is. Right here is probably the smallest lobster we saw out of the trip. I will play some iPhone clips that my uncle actually took as well. So shout out to Uncle Jay for hooking me up with that. He actually killed it being our boat guy. We left him in the boat to basically measure, well, double measure basically all the lobster that we got. And speaking of measure, this guy, for those of you who experienced lobsters, you already know right out of the gate, way too small, but let me show you how it's done here. There's a little horn that they got in the front of their head, and then where their hard shell stops and their tail starts, there's like a little pivot point right there. That is where you're supposed to measure the distance in between. It needs to be around 3 inches. I believe it is 3 inches is the distance. I don't know off the top of my head. That could be very wrong, but I believe it's 3 inches. Right here, this guy right here is a big juicy one hiding right next to this nice little coral head. And oh yeah, right in there. And if you guys hear, you'll hear the little squeaking sound that they'll make. That's like their little voice that they have inside, and they always squeak and make noises when you grab them. They don't really like that. Obvious, you know, I don't like being grabbed like that either, but you know, sometimes you mean business. This happened to be, I saw two on the same dive, and I'm like, all right, let me shove them both in there. I think this guy's a little short, but let me get him anyway. So threw him in the net just because why not? Handed him up to Uncle Jay here in a second. As you can see, there he is in the boat, ready to go. He grabs these from me like a real guy there. Oh, yes, sir. Look at that. He takes them right on in, and he measures them up for us. If they're legal, throws them in the live well. You have to keep these lobsters alive the entire time until you get them back to the house and you're cleaning them. That's just FWC's rule. They obviously don't want to, they take lobster very, very serious, and they don't want to hurt them or harm them in any type of way. Here we go, measuring another one, just clicked over, tossed them out of there, said, see you later, pal. This here happened to be actually a really cool find. This is an old conch shell. So there used to be a conch that lived in it. He has either died or something. I don't know, maybe, I assume he got eaten. And yeah, if they're dead, you are allowed to take the shell. If they are alive and you flip it over, you will see their little hook thing that they got. Obviously not very good, but they're very, very pretty. You bleach them out. They keep that pink color that you guys see there. Super, super cool shell. I actually gave it to Mom. So you're welcome, Mom. Now, we're diving back down. We're seeing some little holes right here. This is a little unique to the Keys, I would say. They don't really, a lot of times they won't be in like actual rocks. They will be just in these weird little holes in the grass. It's kind of odd. But they're very hard to see sometimes. You have to almost go down to them until they're in your face. That's when you see them. And all you're looking for is their little long antennas. You can see those long antennas there. Those just stick out, and they sense everything that's going on. They feel you coming down to them. Obviously, they see you trying to yank them out of the hole and everything else. But he was legal, so he threw him up there to Uncle Jay. And then we're back down into the water again. Throughout this, we have moved. Obviously, this is not all in the same location. The current was crazy in this location where we were. Absolutely unreal how fast some of this water was moving us. Like, we were giving it everything we got, and we're in long freediving blades, and we're only in like 12 to 15 feet of water. It is not deep water at all, and we are getting whooped like we're in 80 feet. Everybody's coming up, breathing, dying, everything else. This here is actually a conch that's alive. You can see his little hook there, or her hook, whatever it may be. I don't know the difference to tell if they're male or female, but as you can see, there are lots of greenery and fish and everything going on down here that it's almost hard to see some of these lobsters. Like, you guys probably don't even know where he's at yet until I actually start shoving him there, as you guys see. So pretty neat just way of catching these fish. This happened to be a ghost trap that we came up on, which ghost trap is just an old lobster and or crab trap. This one happens to be a lobster trap that I don't know if just random people drop it here, they mark it, and they come back and get it another time, or they leave it here just for this purpose exactly. Or the guy, maybe a boat drove over his trap, it chopped his line in the dark or something, and he has no way to find it again. You know, that's very possible. So what we ended up doing was we actually tried pulling some of these lobster out. It wasn't working, so finally we're like, whatever, let's just lift this thing up, throw it in the boat, and see what's in it. And I think there was only one actual legal-sized lobster in this entire trap. They all happened to be actually smaller. So we threw it up in the boat, as you guys see here, and didn't go in our favor as much as we would hoped. But, you know, sometimes it is what it is. So we moved spots. Instantly, I jump in the water, see these nice, sexy rocks right here. Said, I got to get in there and check this baby out right here. And just like that, that's how the master does his work, if you boys understand what's going on there. I just hunted that thing down like nobody's business. He didn't even stand a chance. He seen me coming. He said, uh-oh, I'm dead. Smoked him. He was gone. And I was only 10 feet from the boat. It was great. Threw it right back up in. Everybody else is still getting ready. Bunch of lazy everybody. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's slacking up here. I'm getting stuff done in the water. You know what I mean? So here we go. Back down onto the exact same rock. There was actually a really cool ledge just to the left of it that we actually spent so much time at this ledge to the point where we actually ended up getting all... Well, I don't want to spoil it too far yet. You guys will see what happens here in a few minutes. It gets a little crazy. Right now, I'm the only one in the water still. I'm taking my time, very patient. As you guys can see, there's probably about 6 lobsters you can see listed around that whole ledge there. And I'm just taking my time, picking one at a time. Oh, there's Nick in the water there. That's my brother. He's next to me. He's in the water there. He's down getting them. I take that one over to the boat. Bam, got him. And then here we are, nice and easy. Coming up on another one. And nice and easy right on over him, just like that. Very, very nice, smooth maneuver, right? You get what I'm saying here, boys? I get him to the boat. Now, everybody has jumped into the water. Keep this in mind. I get back into the water, turn around, and mayhem has broke out. I don't know who it was, but someone went down there and scared all of them out. They're coming out of every single, like, external hole that we didn't know existed. They're all coming out of these cracks out of nowhere. They're all over the place. I go down, try to get this one. There was 2, so I didn't know which one to go for. So I went directly behind this one. It was kind of an awkward angle for me, and he ended up slipping. So Chris actually grabbed the net from me, chased him down because he was still on him. And I don't know why he didn't have a net, but for some reason he didn't have a net, so he ended up getting him. So it worked out all good. We almost lost one there. Jacob grabbed out one from there. That's my cousin. And here we are, back into the water again. And I'm going to let this play just to show you guys the raw, real feel of what it's like to be in the ledges and underwater with some of these fish. And just like that, that's how you do some teamwork there, boys. Oh, and Jacob lost it. Just kidding. So I came in a little premature there on the congratulations to Jacob. I didn't have a net. I was just tickle stick boy. I was just tickling him out for everybody, and everybody was coming in netting him. I ended up barehanding that guy, grabbing him by his horns, gave him a little rough 2-inch. He was way short. Threw him back. Said, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to bother you. So now we're back in here. And if you guys can tell, it takes a lot of time. I know I've chopped this up quite a bit, but there's some times here where you're in the water for like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, just trying to coax this thing out and course him out from the rock. It's very weird. It's a big game of patience and finesse. You can't rush it because they have these cool horns on the top of their head that will just dig right into the rock along with all their legs, and they just spider it out, and boom, they're locked into that rock. You ain't getting them out. So you got to kind of work with it and not against it, and you have to let them come out to you. You can't really get too aggressive. I mean, there's times where, yes, you'll see me, I'll stick my hand way up in there, and I'll yank the thing out, but you have to take your time with them. You got to be real patient. Like right here, I'm still tickle stick boy. We finally got teamwork going on this one. I was struggling with the net here. I don't know why. And then Jacob came down. Oh, I'm burping from my Chick-fil-A, and hooked a brother up just like that. He got him. Now we're back in, down again, looking under this same ledge. Keep this in mind. This one's crazy. I got to let this play because it's too nuts. Bam, right in the face. Couldn't even see it coming. He just drilled me right into the center of my mask. I wish the camera would have hit right on the camera. I think it would have been funnier. But he was a behemoth of a lobster. He was very dense. I could barely get my hand around him. Very, very thick lobster. And we thought, as of right now, we thought this was our final lobster. We counted them all. And we thought, okay, let's be done. Let's count them up. Let's see what we got. We ended up being 1 lobster short for everybody we had on board. So me and Jacob are the only 2 left in the water, still kind of dressed. So we go back down and we're like, all right, we got to get the last lobster. Look at this beautiful hogfish right there. I didn't have my gun on me, so I couldn't really shoot him. We planned on spearfishing this trip, but the weather, some of the stuff, we just couldn't really work with it. It was very tricky and tough to get good conditions out there. It actually was very murky for the Florida Keys, to be honest with you. Here's one I'm coaxing up through that little crack there. He actually looks really good, and I don't know what the deal was, but he ended up being a sliver. I'm not kidding, a sliver short. If any of that measurement tool will click over at all, we don't even bother. We don't test it. We don't try and test our luck at all. We just throw them right back. We want a clear definition of in size legal limit lobster. So here we are back down, same ledge, digging out another one yet again. As you can see, we've already messed with him a little bit. This is probably one we've had a hold of at some point because he's missing an antenna. And here I go up under there, no net, nothing, just barehanded him. I'm like, that's the one. That's got to be it. Jacob's celebrating. We thought we finished our limit. It was the final lobster. We get it over here to the boat to let them measure it. And
oh, you kidding me? He's clicking over too. Oh, all right.
Just like that. Heartbreaking news right there, boys. So now, that was the last lobster in that whole entire shelf. So now what we're doing here is what we call towing. Don't know if that's the proper word for it, but we're towing. You basically just create a loop in the line, and you tow it behind the boat about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet, whatever you want. And this is a good way to cover ground and find things you normally wouldn't see if you're just out swimming, because you cover way more ground this way. You just put the boat barely in gear and just idle around everywhere. This is how we came across this. I don't even know what this was at one point. It's just a slab of concrete with what looks like maybe it used to hold an umbrella or a flagpole. It's got a weird little thing sticking out of it. But this thing actually had quite a few lobster on it as well. So we came down here, and I'm down there with the net. Jacob's coming, or I'm with the tickle stick right now. Jacob's going to come down with the net and hook us up, scoop this one, end up checking them out. We think it was a good one again, and, well, history repeats itself, as most say. He is short again. So we're going back and forth trying to figure it out. He measures them.
Good. Short. Oh.
And still short. So we're looking around. I'm like, you know what, whatever. There's got to be one more that's decent down there. I go back down, looking around this whole thing, see a little bit of an antenna sticking out. I try and shoo him out, and here he comes. Come on, buddy. And he was actually a pretty big one that came out of there. So turned out pretty good. Jacob scooped him up. I thought he was going to lose him. He was starting to scare me a little bit. He was getting a little squirrely. And then, getting squirrely again. And he ended up losing him down there somewhere. I couldn't really tell. This was an absolute disaster. I don't know what happened. There was actually a hole in this net, and I don't know if it slipped through the hole or Jacob just didn't have a very good grab on him, but he redeemed himself, went back down there, got him, and that was our final lobster of the trip. We ended up limiting out on, this was actually our very first day. It was our best conditions. We literally just drove down and everything worked out, and that's the GoPro footage I got for you guys. So now it is time to, well, back to what I was saying before I jump into the catch and cook. We were down there for 4 days. I only got 1 day's worth of footage because all the rest of the days were pretty either nasty or we only got a handful of lobster. I don't know how we did it, but day one, drove down, limited out, boom, could have drove home and been happy that day. Pretty crazy, but that's just fishing, that's lobstering, that's just how that goes when you're dealing with nature. So now let's jump into the catch and cook. We head on home and I will show you guys. Well, first, I do have a little bit of cleaning footage of these guys and how they are at the dock, so I'll show that, and then we'll jump into the catch and cook. Hope you guys enjoy.
I got a few big ones in there now. They all have these little feather looking things. But see how this one's so much bigger than that one? See how there's so much, these little ones?
Oh,
so
yeah.
They're little and these got real big ones?
Real big ones, right?
And this one's a female.
The big ones are the female?
That's where they hide all their eggs. So sometimes you'll pull them up.
That's crazy. And they have eggs in there?
Yeah.
Have you found any eggs yet?
No, they
You're
try
not-
and you're not supposed to take them if you
back.
have eggs.
Yeah. Oh, you
But usually their season kind of falls where they don't have to.
So even if
They're
you did
not
find
the
eggs, we
reason.
wouldn't say we did.
Exactly.
Look at that. That's a big one. 2 friggin' Nerf sharks tearing up lobster heads. Look at that.
All right, go get some bags, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's what you call a big old heifer. Who wants to do this?
Look at those boys.
All right, boys, we have made it back. We are no longer, obviously, in the old little islands anymore. We are now back home with a box, and it says fresh seafood. And what that means is there is literally, check that guy out, fresh seafood in there. So some of you guys might be saying, it's not the exact same lobster. No, it's 2 different species, but it's the only thing we have. There's no live Florida lobster stores that are around here that I know of. So we had to go with the closest, best thing. And then as you see over here, these are our other tails that we will be eating. They are all thawed out along with some scallops, so ignore those. But I've never actually cooked a Maine lobster like this. How mad is he if I pick him up? Oh, never mind. Whoa, look at that big guy. I've never actually cooked one of these guys. So this would be a new one for me. Only ever cooked Florida lobster. So we watched a few videos, kind of got conditioned for this. So Augie's gonna kind of walk me through. He's the one that watched this video. So where do I stab this guy?
I go up a little bit. Is that a little dot right there? Yeah.
Right here?
In and down, and then just
Down, straight down?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yep. Hard. Do it. And down, all the way down.
I'm all the way down.
Now go forward with the knife.
Oh,
Okay, right into the pot.
right into the pot like that?
Yep,
Oh,
right
that's
into the pot. Head
gross.
first. Head first.
Oh, hang on, he's leaking. Head first?
Yep, head first. Boom.
Oh. He stopped himself. Oh, get in there.
There you go.
Whoa, it instantly turned bright red.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Oh no, the cat's gonna lick the lobster juice. So, I haven't done anything to the water. Put a little salt in it, that's all we did. Got it to a boil, and now he's in there. He's gonna boil for about, what'd you say, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
And while we were at the store getting the lobster, we happened to come across a bunch of like, what do we call those? Mom and pop? Like root beers?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think they're.
I mean, obviously they're bigger than mom and pop because they're in a
Yeah.
store, but it's not like your Bargs or your Mug kind of deal. Well, we got, what's this one? Sioux City, Sarsaparilla, the granddaddy of all root beers. We got Frosty's root beer, and we got Dad's old fashioned root beer. All right, which one do we want to try first?
I say pop them all open.
Pop all of them? You think they're twist?
Twist off, or they need a bottle?
Ooh!
Oh,
What do you think this guy is?
I would imagine they're all twists.
Twist, twist. Ooh, twist.
Go left to right.
Left to right, we're going Sioux City.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my rating to myself, and then I'll let you go. You tell me what you think. Whoa, they're wildly different.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think there was gonna be that much difference to them. Whoa, whoa, even that one's even crazier. I got my list. Now you got to see what you
This one,
think.
right?
Yeah, I kept them in the order that they were in. I didn't expect. They drastically get crazier too. Like the taste differences. It could also be because they're mixed. I don't know. Like you're mixing the flavors throughout. You see? See what I'm saying? It's different. All right. So while you're processing, I'll give my list and then I'll let Augie go. My list, I would say, is literally the order we drank them in. First, second, third. That one's
This
weird.
one's the worst.
That one's definitely the worst.
It's not
Yeah.
good.
They're just different. They're both good.
I think
But I think I
this
like,
one more.
really?
I don't. It's like minty almost.
Like this tastes more like a mug. That's what I would say that tastes like. What about that guy?
Like that one's different.
It's different.
It doesn't
Well,
taste
it's
like-
also, this one's also caffeine free.
It doesn't taste like A&W, like mug or anything like that. But this one just tastes. Yeah, this one tastes like a park. So
Yeah, that one tastes like, you know what that one kind of tastes like? The Culver's root beer.
yeah,
That one tastes like mug.
has just a weird aftertaste. From it.
Yeah.
So I say
It's very
1,
like
2, 3.
factory.
This one's the worst.
That one's just
Like, other
worse
than
by
one
far.
thing.
These I feel like you could toss
just
up,
doesn't-
so I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't taste good. There's like a weird.
Oh my god. Oh, how's this lobster doing? Dang, he's bubbling away. Well, we're gonna let this guy boil up. We're gonna pull him out once he's done. And then we're gonna let him cool off. We're gonna get these other lobster boiling. And then we'll show you guys a little more of the cooking process once we get to the scallops. And once we get to actually chopping up Mr. Lobster. All right, Augie, dump is in.
Oh, look at all like the weird foam. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry boys, got fogged up there. I'm on. I think he's gonna be the last thing in there. You want me to tog him in there?
Yeah, give him a little push.
So we're supposed to cut his things open before we put him in there?
What things? No,
Yeah.
the rubber ends.
They stay on there for now?
It keeps
okay.
the claws relaxed.
Oh, see, it shows how much I know. I'm not used to claws. All right, so we're gonna get some new water boiling. I'm gonna go ahead and let's rinse him off. We're gonna get some new water boiling that we don't cross-contaminate the water or whatever's going on inside that thing. Then they'll be done. All righty, boys, time's come to chop up our lobster friend here. According to these other people, it's very similar to a regular spiny lobster. You just twist the tail, it falls right out, and you got all the goodies in there. We'll set the head in there for a second. This one cracked if you just pinch it.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh wow, look at that. I've never cracked a lobster like this.
Now you should be able to like peel it off.
There's the meat. Bam. Good.
Yeah. Do it again. Again.
Sure?
Yeah.
God, I'm getting sprayed with water now. Again?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I feel like I got a better idea.
What's that?
Are you serious?
There it goes. You cracked it.
Cracked.
Yeah, turn it over to the other side.
Oh, Jesus.
You're not frying that thing.
Oh, it squirted. Oh, look at all that little. All right, boys. Well, we're gonna get this guy cleaned up. Oh, where are you going? And we'll get the scallops put on, and we'll see you guys when it's all done. All righty, boys. We are all done. We also, I don't think we mentioned these to you boys, but we threw in some crab cakes. So those are in there. We also got our Maine lobster, and then these are the Florida lobsters, and then these are our Florida scallops as well. So kind of funny. Scallops come from Maine as well. Like the big ones.
Yeah,
we could have got big ones
really
to compare everything. I didn't even think of that till now. So, what we did also is there's a little melted butter over here. You can give it a little drizzle on top. So, let me go ahead and, we got bowls over here. I'll go ahead and take a claw, and I'll cut a little bit piece of the tail, and then I'll leave you some claw and you some tail.
Oh.
And we can try them both. And then just for good measures, ooh, this is hot.
No butter and everything.
Yeah. A little butter drizzle. Just on the lobster. There we go. Beautiful. Go ahead and make your plate. And we'll see which one we like better. Well, boys, I'm selfie camming this. Don't really know what happened to the cooking footage. Just went out there and talked to Augie. I'm like, yo, what on earth did we do? Because my clips go from, like, they're all numbered properly. It's just not on this SD card. I think we got too excited that maybe I forgot to hit record when we ate. But I'll give you guys the rundown of what happened. Scallops, set those aside. Those are delicious as always. But for the lobster, how we rated it. Claw meat from the Maine lobster is number 1. Claw meat. Tail of the Florida lobster was better than the tail of the Maine lobster. So first, second, third goes claw, Florida tail, Maine tail. So bam, there's your answer. They're the best. That's the best meat you can put in your mouth, as Andrew and Banjo would say. Either way, that's all I got for you boys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Wasn't really much camera like this, but you know, it's a video. Hope you guys enjoyed. All right, bye.